Good morning and welcome to the Recovery Report, where we've recovered over $1 billion for our clients over our past 11 years. I'm Rob Bowlby, president of GlobalPro Texas, and we are live from our Texas studios. And here in Texas, we are right in the middle of our winter freeze campaign. Temperatures tend to start dropping this time of year. I don't think we've had our first freeze yet. We've come very close. We're trending down in the 40s at night, but it won't be long till that gets down into the 30s and 20s and sometimes even the single digits. And so we thought it would be a great time to bring on one of my good friends who I'm also a client of, Jacob Morgan, owner of Pure Plumbing. Jacob, welcome. Thank you for being with us today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
As I mentioned, I've got experience with Pure Plumbing. We've used them for our own residents. We've also used them on several claims, somewhere we've brought them in, somewhere the clients have brought them in before we did. So you're doing a great job of building up a brand here in the North Texas market.
We appreciate it.
So start off with just telling us a little bit about Pure Plumbing and how you got into it.
So Pure Plumbing actually started here before I did. I've been in this market for 15 years now, since right out of high school. But Pure Plumbing started in Las Vegas, my business partners. Just amazing people, wanted to start a business on their own just to help deliver phenomenal service, and then that grew into all the way down here to Dallas, you know.
Okay. So there's licenses, generally when people call a plumber, it's a crisis. They're like, we need to get somebody out here. And so I don't know that people really do a lot of investigation. And I know there's a designation, master plumber. Talk about kind of what people should be on the lookout for when they hire a plumber, and talk about the master plumber designation, what it means.
So the master plumber license is really just the top of the line. It doesn't mean that you're the absolute best. It just means that you met all those qualifications. It means that there's an endorsement to it, which is what we carry as well for the RMP, which is a responsible master plumber. And it gives you the right to be able to pull permits, run your own company.
Okay.
And then the master plumber and the journeyman plumber, the tradesman plumber, apprentices with endorsements, all incredibly important to our trade, but the master plumber that's the top.
Okay. And so I'm assuming that's one way you differentiate yourself from the competition. What are some of the other ways that Pure is kind of differentiated from some of your competitors out there?
No, absolutely. So like you said before, we have a lot of great competitors here. A lot of them are great friends. What we do different compared to other people is the plumbing side, we got it. We focus on it, we train on it, but our biggest thing that we like to focus on and train on is communication. It's knowing what problems you're having and knowing what we can do to solve them. And honestly, the best person to tell us what you need is you. So we communicate that with you and just try to serve you to the best of our ability.
Okay. Well, and we appreciate that. It's one of the reasons we like having you guys on claims, because we've handled a lot of water damage, and inevitably we need a report from the plumber.
Right.
And sometimes we get a great report with, cause of loss and photos, and this is exactly what happened, and here's photos of the damage, and here's what it costs to fix the pipe. Other times we get a one-page invoice with some notes on it and $800. Thank you. Yeah.
Which is hectic.
And so that makes it a little harder to work with the carrier when that's all we've got. But talk about, kind of how do you guys document, and how do you guys deal with when you're dealing with an insurance company, as I'm sure they've called you, like we've called you. How do you guys handle your documentation?
We're a long way from paper invoices now. So our software that we use allows us to upload notes in real time. That can be, once we're finished with either the invoice, the estimates, anything, it can be immediately sent over to you, the customer, which can then be passed back up to the insurance. And within that software, we can record videos, we can record photos or take photos, anything that you could possibly imagine, as far as in the plumbing realm for documentation that you would need. We can upload it, send it over to get that process starting. And it helps us out too, because then we're not looking for a paper invoice in case the insurance company calls.
Yep.
So if they call us and say, hey, we need information on this address, pull that address up, and we can immediately start speaking to them because all the notes are there. So anyone in the office can have that conversation.
Okay, that's great. That's super helpful. I spent a little bit of time on your website, and I noticed you've got a member program, like a subscription program. Talk a little bit about what that is and what the benefits are, and why should somebody become a Pure member?
Absolutely. So we offer two membership programs. We have our base model, which is a pretty standard model where we waive service fees, offer you a discount on services, and same day service guarantee. And then we have our elevated membership plan, and this plan has a lot of similarities to the one before. One of the biggest differences in that plan, though, is that we offer tankless flush for your tankless water heater. And being one of the only companies that does this, back to a question you asked earlier, it really sets us apart from the competition.
Okay. I'm going to, because you mentioned tankless water heaters, so I'm going to jump to that for a second, because I've had plumbing issues with tankless water heaters.
Right.
And I've had people recommend tank heaters because they say, well, at least when you have a freeze, you've got at least one tank of hot
Sure.
water to work with. And others say, well, that's still not worth it. You're better off with the tankless. What's your opinion? If you were to build a house today, what would you put in there?
That is a great question, and you will definitely have some differing opinions in the market. For me personally, it's about knowledge and knowing that tankless water heaters are the future. It's crazy because we have electric cars now today, but creating a good electric tankless seems to be a struggle. So I advise everyone to do their best to stay away from electric tankless. But gas, natural, LP, propane gas, phenomenal units. The number one cause of failures for tankless water heaters is typically going to be the fact that they're just installed incorrectly. But I would suggest to any homeowner, if you have gas of any sort, go with a tankless water heater. The tankless water heater saves you on efficiency, longevity, and some tankless water heaters give you tax credits annually.
Okay. So that's obviously been a nice technological improvement to have a tankless water heater versus a tank. There's been a lot of other ones that are starting to come out that will actually monitor your home for, hidden leaks. Maybe you don't realize you've got a pipe leaking somewhere. Do you have experience with those, and are there particular ones you recommend? What's your thoughts on those?
Absolutely. That's the greatest part about this, is that this market is always evolving into something better, in my opinion. And so now they have Moen, which is a brand, makes a product called Flow, or it's Flow by Moen if anyone's searching it. And so the Flow by Moen is installed directly on the water line, and it can detect if any major leaks occur. So if let's just say you're out of town and all of a sudden you'll get an alert on your phone that shows you a rapid water usage, it'll shut that down for you. You can also manually turn it on and off yourself in case you're wanting to go out of town. And Moen has a 96% chance of stopping water damage in the instance of a leak.
Well, and when I think back to last year here in North Texas, the coldest days of the year were December 24th, 25th, and 26th, when a lot of people were out of town, and we had at least 3 claims that the way the insured was notified they had water damage was a neighbor called them and saw water running out of the house. So, to have technology like that, where you get notified electronically and you can actually shut it off from there if the system doesn't shut it off automatically, would just be a huge saver for homeowners.
Definitely a game changer.
Now, will the insurance companies pay for that? It seems like in the past, I remember my carrier recommending something similar. I don't know if that specific model, but he said, we'd pay up to $2,500 to put something like that on there. First of all, I don't know how much they cost.
So the way it works is our business, we deal directly with the homeowner.
Okay.
And we help them out with conversations with the insurance company, or like we said previously, providing that documentation, verbiage. But it's always relayed back to us, and everyone differentiates. It's different between everyone. So some insurance companies will cover it fully, some will pay partial, and some will just reduce their monthly.
Reduce your premium because now you're a lower risk.
Correct.
So as we approach the freeze season, what do commercial and residential property owners need to be thinking about other than the obvious, drip your pipes, all that? But what are some kind of inspections or preventive measures people could take in advance to get ready for cold weather?
Absolutely. So we offer a winter freeze inspection, which that is for anyone that's needing help or assistance, wanting to make sure they're ready. But one of the biggest crucial things as a homeowner is you never know when a leak's going to happen. So it's always be prepared. Know where your water shutoff is, your water meter. Every house should have a homeowner shutoff, which is designated specifically for them on their property. Locating that, making sure it's in good working order is incredibly important. Making sure your water lines that are in attics, exterior walls, things like that, making sure that those are insulated. And it's the visual ones that you can see. Dripping faucets in the middle of the freeze, and disconnecting your water hoses from the outdoor faucets. That's a big one.
That's actually a really, it's funny, I think I've had at least 2 claims in the past year that are a result of a frozen hose bib and went right back through the house. That's a really good one. I've even thought about handing out GlobalPro branded water meter keys, because it seems like nobody has a water meter key when they need to run out to the street and shut the water off.
And it's like finding gold whenever a freeze hits, because you can't find them anywhere.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Tell me where we can learn more about Pure Plumbing.
So you can learn more about Pure Plumbing on our website. It's pureplumbingdfw.com. And then you can also give us a phone call. It's 469-525-0000.
Okay. Well, thank you for being with us today, Jacob. I
Absolutely.
really appreciate it. Thank you for all the viewers who are watching today. Thanks for joining us here in Texas, and we'll see you next week live on the Recovery Report.